Today's conversation is fiery, and it's exactly what you need to hear to live a fit over 50 life. Jolie Glassman, she doesn't just suggest it, she lives it. She's trained celebrities, CEOs, and people just like you, and she is absolutely living this. So if you're stressed, if you're looking for more energy, you will absolutely be guaranteed to receive it on this podcast, where she talks about how to overcome burnout with 5 daily fixes.
You are definitely going to want to strap in for this episode. Well said, Kelly. Let's get to it. Jolie, welcome to our show. This is going to be an awesome show for everybody today. As a matter of fact, if you look in the dictionary under firecracker, you're going to see a little picture of Jolie. That is for sure. So strap in today for today's episode. Kelly, would you do the proper introduction for Jolie, and then we'll dig into everything?
Absolutely, yes. Our very special guest today is Jolie Glassman. She is a powerhouse. She is the owner of the world-famous South Beach Boxing Gym and also the founder of Revamps Coaching for over 35 years. So yes, she's at least as old as Mark and I, because we've all been doing this for a while. She's been training celebrities, CEOs, athletes, but also the everyday warriors about how to build strength and confidence and resilience. And she does it in the ring and in life. We're going to hear all about that. And she's just known for her straight talk, no excuses, and just her ability to turn struggle into self-mastery. So in this episode, Jolie's going to really break down for us how to overcome burnout in 5 daily fixes. And so if you're feeling drained or distracted, you want to absolutely shut everything off and tune into this episode. Just lean in, because we're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to love her energy, her focus, her joy. So Jolie, thank you so much for being with us.
I love it. Say more. Say more.
Yeah.
It's so great. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I got to add so much to so many, right? Stories, your life, to hear your life spoken in a short sentence, and then so many stories. You have so much to comment, and then because I'm such a teacher, I want to educate and share with others. So it was great. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, Jolie, can you share with our audience your story, your kind of backstory, what got you into all this, and then we want to dig into how we can level up in life.
So I'm in total wellness, and how I got into it was adversity in all areas, I would say. I guess a lot of people have that same background, like, how do I get out of this? How do I find a better way? So, and it was mind, body, spirit in different arenas as a kid. So as a kid, physically, I was last. I sucked. I was last. I was good in school, straight A student, but just not on the PE court. This is elementary. And I remember the PE teacher was like, last one around, us run again. And it was me, which I hated, because I was embarrassed. And I said, I'm never doing that again, and I'm never being last. So that was a good decision, because I filed it in the future. And I got really into fitness. So that was the physical part. The mind part came from my mom. I came from she was strict. I don't want to say very abusive, because I know, very abusive. We'd have the cops at my house all the time. But she did the best she could with the skills that she had. I'm very clear. It's a presupposition in NLP. It took me very long to even believe that statement and get that everybody's doing the best they can with what they have. And through all my work of 35 years of deep everything work of personal development, learned that I love everything about her, because it would take away what I am. Anything I change about her, I'd have to change about me. So I love it all. I take it all for everything it is and everything it wasn't. Yet, when I was a child, I wanted to be anywhere but home. I was always running away. The final straw was when I was 15, and I never went home. So my mind was super. It's funny, we learn from a move toward, like NLP teaches you to say what you want, not say what you don't want. So the people who grow from adversity are the people, those are like lotus flowers, which is not the norm, because it's norm to do what you had the example of. But we learn from example and non-example, and we get the non-example of adversity. I learned I am not doing many things. To me, she's not that anymore, but as a kid, she was like weak and just not in the world as she could be. So I was like, I am not doing that. I am not doing that. And to me, she was overweight, and I did not have, my story was, because people are always like, oh, you're fit, you have the genetics. I'm like, I don't have the genetics. Like, no one in my family was fit. I worked my ass off since I'm 12, 13. So I knew I did not want to be like that. And then the spirit part, which is so beautiful because it came later on in my life. I never even believed in God. Because I was taught, it was like it was always, it had a gender to it. So I didn't believe it because I didn't see it. And I get what faith is all about. It's just, I wasn't with it so much. I don't know if I wasn't agnostic, I was atheist. And I had a motorcycle accident in 2012. My mom died 11 on my birthday. 2012, I had a motorcycle accident, which was really, really major setback. I split my head open, 28 staples. I herniated 11 discs. So imagine you own a gym, you're in fitness, you finally, you're not last anymore. And you did so well in fitness, and I have this motorcycle accident. So lots of stuff, right? Lots of healing, split vertigo, neck and brace, every day, different appointments for decompression, for everything. So it's like, where do I go first? They told me I needed a media fusion surgery. Gratefully, I found Joe Dispenza back then, 2012, and I'm not supernatural, right? We learn what we learn. You always want everyone's special sauce, and then there's your special sauce. So what do you do with it? Yet I did go through all his work. I became a healer for him, and what I got most out of it is the practice of meditation, the spirit component that I was missing, because I was mind, body, mind, get your mind, get your body, I was missing the spirit, which is hugely all about healing. It's all about healing because it's the surrender arena. And I got God out of it. I got God out of it. I never believed that. God. And I'm not obsessed. I don't knock on people's doors and preach it. It's just nobody needs to preach anything to me. I got it so clear and so to the core, and I don't need to learn any religion or nothing. It's in your core, and you're clear where you come from, and you get it. So I did the work, and I got to put it all together where people go, oh, you work out, you're healthy. People's definition of health, it's crazy. Oh, you work out, you're healthy. Oh, you eat clean, you're healthy. Oh, if you do this, you're healthy. They compartmentalize it, yet it's whole language. So I am an early childhood development teacher. That was my first bachelor's degree, was early childhood education. And we learn details. Everything is in the details. So, and then it's phonics versus whole language. And then I did my master's in behavior mod. So together, right, and then we apply what we have into the world of language that we speak into. So I got very clear phonics versus whole language, and health is in everything you do. It's everything you do, everything you think, everything you are. People could call you whatever. My sister just told me I was a loner. I was like, okay, a loner. Self-care is number one for me. So it doesn't matter what people call me. Grateful. Mel Robbins came up with her Let Them. I was already clear, I have to be who I have to be, right? Because if I don't fill up my cup, I live to serve. I have a kids' charity. I've been teaching my whole life. Fortunately, unfortunately, thank you, God, that because I live to teach in such a way that I've had so many things happen and so many confrontations with the medical system as well and my health along the way that allowed me the research and the know-how to get all the information I can. And we know we're in an information world. It's almost like, where do I go with all this? And at least live it in such a fashion where I can teach it, because that's my special sauce, is teach it in a way where people will get it and do it, because that's all that matters. I don't want to inspire people. I want to have them take action. I want them to say, I meditate because you taught me, not oh, I learned it from you. I don't really want that. I want the learned behavior to be action. So now it was funny. I read Kelly, she wrote today, she's like, oh, you're going to do soaring through menopause. And I laughed because I was like, okay, it's very funny that she said that, because I actually want to teach my friends who are younger. I declared it before I went through it, and I didn't believe I could have a good menopause because my mother, she was everything you could have, she had. She died early. All my family died early. My mom and dad died early. I don't have good, healthy genetics. And they always say, oh, check what your mother, I laugh every time they say it when you go through menopause, that every doctor will go, whatever your mother went through. I'd be like, lady, I almost want to cry on that. No, that's not going to happen to me. So I didn't have a resource to see. I mean, how lucky are we that we have books and CDs, and now we can go on courses and you can hire a coach. And my role models were Wayne Dyer, Carolyn Mace, Leo Buscaglia, like, I mean, people that I was researching, and then you get them in I have an addiction. I'm a hoarder to books. I have over 1,000 books, yet it's what gives me the information to have a better life. So I search for my stuff. So when I had the accident, I said, what am I going to do? Fusion surgery? My gym's on the second floor. I'm not going to be able to get to work. How am I going to do this? And I remember just hysterical cry, right? It always comes out of those like hysterics where you're like ready to like, I don't even know. And the music was loud and I couldn't take it because I was in my small little office thinking like everyone thinks I'm like this badass gym owner and I have this accident. I can't even move. What am I going to do? And that's when I decided, I was like, I can't have a surgeon on my team because I'm not going to have surgery. And the surgeon, of course, is going to tell me I need surgery. And I can't miss 6 months of work. So that's not happening. So I got a whole team of advisors, which I share that part as well because, listen, we all know what opinions are like, right? So everybody's got them. We all know we have them. And do the research. The funny thing, I was teaching my coaching group last night because they said, I don't remember how he started the question. Oh, I said, ask ChatGPT what you think about what you should do with your music or whatever. And he goes, yeah, well, they're, like how ChatGPT doesn't really argue it. It's, what's the word for it? Like nonpartisan. Like they just go with whatever you say. So he's like, I'm not really going to get the answer. So I was teaching him that you have the answer, which is another point to the healthier you get, the better you can listen to yourself and hear your body and believe it because you know it and you live it. So it's kind of like how I said to him, why don't you ask ChatGPT? Not really to get the answer and be like, I'm doing what ChatGPT said. It's the same reason why someone does kinesiology, body testing. It's your body does not lie and it knows the answer. And I have a pendulum next to my bed because we have a decision-making strategy and we have a strategy for how we do everything. We're just a computer. And my strategy, I blame it on my Gemini sign, but I always ask people's opinion. Hey, do you like this? Oh, do you like this? Do you like blue or green? Blue or green? And then people used to make fun of me going, I said blue and you picked green. Well, yeah, because deep down inside, I needed to hear you say blue because it really verified and solidified that green was my answer. So it was, sometimes you need to ask to know what best resonates with you. So I don't recommend people getting one opinion because it confuses you because then you feel insignificant, inferior. You feel like they're your God. Like ask your doctor if it's right for you. Just shoot me. I can do like an hour TED talk on that line because it's like, should we go? I mean, who has a clipboard? Who has a doctor? Who has them on iPad? How do they know more about you? It's like, it drives me bonkers because it's so loaded with how would even anyone know about me more than I would know about me and study you. Like you're on this earth to learn you so you could share you. And then the world will give you back so much more of that. That's the whole point of life, right? Is to serve as an extension of who you are, not like, oh, I have to serve, so I'm going to go feed the homeless, and maybe the homeless is where it's at for you, but if it's not, find your secret sauce because the world needs help, and it starts with you. So I realized I needed many opinions. So I started getting my advisory team of what I would want answers from. I got a pelvic floor specialist. I had an osteopath. I got 3 Pilates certifications. I did Pilates till I was blue in the face. And I just started learning, right? And then we know the more we learn, you don't know anything. You just know that you're getting through your day aligned with your whole value, belief system, everything you are, and you're going to the next step, ideally spearheading it for others. Like good, I passed that goal. Good, celebrating your little wins, going on to the next. Celebrating your little wins, going on to the next. And then evaluating every step of the way, because that's the highest level of learning is reflection. So what did I do that worked? Like here, I just told you when I came on, I pulled my back yesterday. So I was like, all right, Jolie, back to the basics. What did you do in the beginning when you pulled your back? Because the key is to know how to get out of pain. Structurally, I mean, even my chiropractor says Joe Dispenza's back can't be totally straight. I mean, you don't change that structure. So the key is that I could take life into my own hands and get out of pain. So when it got so heightened, I was like, Jolie, back to basics. I always want to go back to the foundation. And I was literally laying on the floor doing my pelvic clock. And I was going back to my pelvic floor, going back to Shavasana, going back to NSD. I did not even a Tylenol. I don't do anything when I'm in pain. I want to feel it. I want to relax into it. And I want to let it go. And I am able to go through this journey for the spirit part that I added from Joe Dispenza, for my consistent, nonstop morning and night routines that are really, I have to say badass because it's what I teach. So I have really good morning routines that serve me in such a way that when I need dividends, it dishes me out some. I get the repayment, right? We don't meditate. The problem with the world is people don't get the juice when they do the activity and then they think it doesn't work. So, and then people are like, oh, I meditate, it doesn't work. Oh, I work out, it doesn't. You got to stick with the program and it's consistent always. I hate when people say, I'm training for a wedding or I'm training for a, like, get rid of the event. Like, the event is your life. It's like you're training for life and you're going along the way, and don't be disempowered along the way because you're on the way. So it's like nobody has the map of the endpoint until they're like on the map. You got to follow the map. Always do the next best right step. And you got to do what's best for you. I have a list of foods that nobody agrees on. And then it's like, I listen to, you would go crazy. I don't have children. All I do is listen to like docuseries and medical and functional training and a lot of diet. And nobody agrees. Nobody agrees on onions, on garlic, on mushrooms, on greens. Nobody agrees on the salads and the greens. Some people say it's like creating your death, and some people say it's solving your life. And then the carnivore and the meat, and but when you're so healthy, you can moderate, you can try it all, you can eliminate gradually, you don't have to like have such an influx of inflammation. Like, I love those people that are like, I quit soda and I lost 50 pounds. I'm like, whew, that's amazing. That's like, wow, let's see what other toxic things you are doing in your life, right? And people don't get that it's really just toxic in, get good in, get toxic out, get good in, get toxic out. So many people are unhealthy, not even from eating bad, they're not eating good. They're not getting their nutrients in. So health and wellness is your whole life. It's not in the gym. It's not just in the kitchen. It's in your head. It's from the second you wake up till the second you wake up again, till the second you wake up again, because your tomorrow starts today and every punch sets up the next. That's why my metaphor in life and everything I do is boxing, because you want to be, there's nobody, you never see a YouTube video or a heroic, motivational, nothing without a boxing scene. So boxers, it's you're at the bottom of the barrel when you lose, and you're at the top of the world when you win. And then I won't announce, well, I do have another book in me. I'm just not saying, I hate admitting it. But I have another one that I want to write called Front of the Hand, Back of the Hand, How to Get to the Space in Between, right? So me as an athlete, I overtrain, overdo, I love it. And then it's like, okay, good, let me recover with this spirit part. So like I say, boxers are on top of the world and then the bottom, and then how do we balance, like life, I say, is a delicate balance between intentionality and surrender. So how do you keep being intentional and then surrender, and keep being intentional and surrender? And then how do you do it? Like people say, how do you meditate? You do. You just do it. Like the monk on the mountain, I tell people, he still has thoughts and he still is trying to meditate. So just keep doing your trying, and that's you meditating. So, people give up too quick on themselves. So boxing's my life. Everything is boxing. Yeah.
Jolie, if people are not stirred up to think differently and inspired after that introduction, they must not have a pulse. Oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
I could go on and on with health and wellness, that's for sure, because of the totality of it all and the lack of totality that people believe it is. They constantly compartmentalize it. They constantly think like, oh, well, I ate really healthy this week. And aging is just an accumulation of what we've done our whole life. So, and nothing to be sad about if you were terrible at 20, right? Today's a new day, start now. It's nothing to that you can't start now. It's just and I love it. My sister God bless her, she has stage 4 cancer and she does not want to be healthy. She does not. I've already accepted it in the sense because I already get people have different values, and I'm clear she said music, fun, and food. So, okay, health wasn't on her spectrum, right? And no one cares about health until they lose it. And then they're like, oh, how do I get healthy? Okay, well, you can get healthy. And you know what? You don't even want to be unhealthy when you're healthy. People think it's a luxury to be unhealthy. Like, oh, I'm so lucky I get to eat this shit. And there's no luxury in that. The luxury is in the craving of the health, because your energy is so clean and people don't know how good they can have it. So, and then you said going through menopause. So that's the whole thing. If there's going through menopause, let's say, oh yeah, well, it's over 50. The dilemma of going like, do I do hormones? Do I do bioidentical hormones? You definitely don't want synthetic hormones. So that's like, no, you don't want synthetic hormones. So then it's up to you. Like I said, diet, and I named that list of all the foods. And I don't listen to the only meat and you can meet an old person and they say, I only eat meat. And then you can follow like a diet person into wellness and longevity. And they're like, you go Gerson Institute, where fruits and vegetables, right? So then you do what's right for you. I went on this whole foods diet. I gained 12 pounds. I was like, okay, great. It was healthy weight, but I didn't really want that 12 pounds. And I was like, wow, fruit, there's a lot of sugar in that. So I was like, okay, maybe I won't do just the fruit. And it's okay if it works for others. It didn't work for me. So I like people to do the trial and error, but everything they're trial and error in is still in a healthy arena. Same with me, like I did 5-day water fast. I've done many 5-day water fasts. I like the 3 better for me, because the 5 makes me, when I go back to food, want it more. And I'm seeking balance in a person that seeks insanity, right? So it's like, how do you see, I love energy, I'm energy, go, 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 go. Yet I seek balance. So they're like two opposing things, because I'm seeking to be like my crazy self, yet I know I need and to live and be in the balance. So it's having both of those things. People need to know themselves. What works for you? What's best for you? Sometimes I do intermittent fasting. I love it. Other people are like, no, your hormones, as a woman, you shouldn't fast so long. It's okay. For me, it works. When my hormones are out of whack, I can tell every listener, though, start with your sleep. If your hormones or your health or anything is out of whack, especially on something over 50, your sleep is out of whack. Sleep is so important. It's the one evolution, we didn't get rid of it. We need it, everybody needs it, and it's the other thing that I talked about before, that you don't get the juice. You don't have a good night's sleep always and wake up and go, oh, that was the best night's sleep. And sometimes you pull all-nighters and you feel great the next day. And they're so detrimental to the long term of your health. And there's so many studies that prove it and show it. Just one night of bad sleep. And we wear it like a badge, right? Like, oh, I worked all day. And I always brag, I live like I'm retired. Like you said, where are you? I'm home. I live like I'm retired. I do what I want, when I want. Serve people, take them on my time. Granted, I'm older, so I can do that now. Yet it's life on my terms. So I'm going to serve me first, and then serve my whole world around me, which is my passion and what I love that keeps me wanting to serve me. If I don't serve me, then how am I going to teach you health and wellness?
I love how you're wired.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
I love how you're wired as a teacher and a coach.
I think we've established that if people could tune in now and get 10% of the energy you just had in the last 20 minutes, that their lives
no caffeine,
so much damn
no
better.
Caffeine
so
in me.
The credibility is now has been established here. Now let's dig in. What an amazing story, and I love it. So
thank you.
People here today that are struggling with learning their intuition, how to tie into their intuition, because I think that's a big issue for a lot of people. Maybe we can touch on that.
Okay, so let me help with that, right?
Yes.
So when you're not healthy, it's very hard to tap into your intuition, because we're clouded by chemicals and toxins. And then I don't want a listener to be overwhelmed and then go, well, where do I start, right? It's like, right, where do you start? Where do you start? I always tell people to start with a morning routine. Start with something, because it's slow and steady. If you're all the way over here, you got to gradually make your way back. It doesn't mean be so disempowered you might as well throw in the towel. No, start small. So I would start, actually screw the morning routine. I'd start with cleaning out your refrigerator. I would go in, because you got to get the stuff out. Because if you want to be intuitive, you got to be clear, right? It comes from clairvoyant, having clarity, being able to see. You can't, it's funny, I coach these my biggest passion is the meds going into the kids since I'm younger, because I was a teacher in prisons back in the day. And now the kids line up for the meds, and it's one little thing, right? They give a med for everything. And people don't realize, they go, oh, it's only one a year I take, or it's only one pill a month. Like, one drop of cyanide, it'll kill you. And they listen to the study. You want to be healthy. God, if you believe in God, for any listener, and then if you believe you can make yourself sick, you need to believe you can make yourself well. You need to believe also that unlimited intelligence is inside of you. If you believe in God and you came from God, then it's in you. Dig and find it, because God gave you everything you need. It's not like I'm blowing smoke up your ass. It's the facts. It's just you got to work your way back. I can't say, I'm not telling you get off your meds. Go ask your doctor if that's right for you. I'm saying don't ever get on them. And if you are on them, you need to start with, how I said, clean out your refrigerator. Get all the toxins and crap out that you can, that you're able to. Start taking health into your own hands, because if you don't, it's going to go in someone else's hands. It's not going to look good. So I don't know if you like sitting in doctor's offices, but I hate going to the doctor. So clean out your kitchen. And also, I'm an essential oil whore. If you look on my I have hundreds of oils. I love oils. I'm an oil nerd. And it came from my motorcycle accident, because when you get desperate, you're willing, and you won't do surgery, you're willing to heal in any way possible. So I was like, all right, teach me about this weird oil shit. And I'm so great. Your skin is the biggest organ. We're so shut down to believe things. And I was of the believing that oils can change your life. And now I'm like, I don't put anything on my skin. Everything that goes on my skin, I use coconut oil as my lotion. Get the toxins out. Get your plastic out. Get an accountability partner or someone. Like, that's what I do. I go through people's refrigerators. I go through their house. They got to get everything out. Their toilet paper, everything. So my favorite book of my life was Natural Cures.
Toilet paper. They've got to get their toilet paper out?
Exactly. Use bamboo. Use a healthy... Everything is a hormone disruptor. And people think, like, I love when people go, oh, what are you going to use? Organic laundry detergent? No, good. You use your Tide and your Gain and keep your hormone disrupted. And the problem is when people can't find their intuition, or they don't know what's bothering them, or they can't get to the bottom of their hormones going all crazy, and then they go to the doctor, and the doctor says you need hormones. And even if bioidentical hormones are okay for you, why don't you try to regulate your hormones on your own first? So that's like, so I haven't done any. I don't do any. And I'm not saying it's anything wrong with it. I'm not saying I will never do the bioidentical, but I love playing the game of, I do Mark Hyman's blood work. I do everything by myself. So I get my blood work, I get all my scans, then I do the research. If something's low, I don't go to a doctor. I do it myself. I do the research. So far, I was like, yeah, Jolie, you're fooling yourself. I said, you're fooling yourself, because I was going to do the bioidentical, because I was like, I have afternoon fatigue. I was crashing in the afternoon. And then I kept hearing about that 30, 30, 30, wake up and have protein. And I was Miss Intermittent Faster for 12 years. And I was like, oh, let me try that. It's funny when all of a sudden you're willing to try something, you see it everywhere. So then I kept hearing, like, how could you not eat till the afternoon? Of course you're having fatigue. So I did it. It did work, where I don't have afternoon crashes anymore. Yet I was still fooling myself, because I was like, oh, maybe you would need bioidentical. But in the back of my head, I was like, no, you're going to do this by yourself. You're going to regulate your hormones, and you're going to maximize them on your own. Through sleep, through nutrition, through the meditation, through HRV, through regulating my nervous system. And I knew I was fooling myself, because twice a month, I'll go to Whole Foods and I'll go to the cookie area and I get the cookies. And then I can go, the worst line is not that bad. I hate when people say it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's one time. It's one chip. It's like, get rid of your friends. Tell your friends to shut up. What do you mean it's not that bad? For them, let them keep it. So it's like, don't go to the cookie aisle. Don't get that stuff. Don't have it. And I had it times when I was like, oh, you need bioidentical hormones. Like, we know when we're talking shit to ourselves. So I was like, Jolie, no, you're going to go super clean. You're not going to buy it. You're not going to have it. And I've been great. I'll have to say, I had really bad, horrible periods, horrible 20s. I was on Paxil. I was on Accutane. I was on ask your doctor if it's right for you. That's a whole other arena. I talk about it a little in my book, that I was on always sick. And until I learned to take it into my own hand, I didn't tell you my favorite book, which was Natural Cures They Don't Want You to Know About. Kevin Trudeau, he ended up going, I was always looking for him. Like, where did this guy go? I found out he went to jail for 13 years, I guess, for
Yeah.
he was a
He's
whistleblower.
back. He's doing some great content now, but
He's
yeah, he's back talking
amazing.
about,
He's
yeah.
amazing. He changed my whole life. So his book about the FDA and the FTC, and I really learned the back end of the whole diabolical scheme of the food and the drug running the world. And this was in 99. So I was married at the time. My ex-husband thought I lost the plot. And this is what I'm telling your listeners to do. Go in the refrigerator and cabinets. It's okay if your husband thinks you lost the plot, and get rid of everything with labels on it, because it's publicly traded. I don't, like, if I were to have ketchup, I'd probably make it like mashed tomatoes, or like make some sauce, or learn to like vinegar more. Not have that, because publicly traded food, don't buy it. Don't buy Kellogg's, don't buy Kraft, don't buy Heinz, don't buy none of that shit. It's all about, and I learned that all in his book, that it's all about the profits, to keep the profits high and the cost low, and it's at the health expense and the FTC, and you can't get in the food and drug, and that was 26 years ago. There's way more chemicals and vaccines in the food, like crazy stuff in the food, and it says it. People eat it. It says nutritious, which is crazy. You don't believe it. But then at the bottom it'll say bioengineered. So I don't know, nutritious or bioengineered. It's like one or the other. So get all that out of your cabinet. Get everything out. And then they say, well, what do I eat? Like my sister does that to me. Like, there's nothing I can eat. I said, okay, well, we're going to make a list of all the foods you can eat, and then we're going to go buy just those, right? And you don't need to go in the middle aisles ever. I think everybody's heard that. And sometimes they enter those middle aisles. There's no reason. I order all my stuff. I order my meats. I order my fish because I get wild caught. I order my eggs. All that stuff comes in. The only thing I go to the store for, because I haven't jumped on that oxalate, phthalate, I'm a greens whore. I love greens. I drink a lot of them. I haven't believed they're not good. Maybe it's my blood type. I'm blood type A. But I do a lot. They're actually soaking right now. Dandelion, parsley, cilantro, a lot of cilantro. And that's all I buy at the grocery store. That and fruits. And you got to look at the barcode. People must think I'm crazy in the grocery store. I got my glasses. I got my scanning app. I look at the barcode because they'll say organic, but it'll be GMO. Or it'll say organic and it's not farm right. So the 9 barcode, it has to start with the 9 to be like really organic. And then I
Which
come home
app
and
are you
scrub
using?
it.
Which app? Is it Yucca?
Well, I
or
use
which app?
Yucca, yeah.
Yucca, okay.
But the yucca's not necessarily like, I got this hero bread, but it has it has glyphosate. It has gluten in it, and it's scored an 85, and it's scored like it was good keto bread. So it does tell you like additives and stuff, but it doesn't tell you it's still bad. Even if it tells you it's good, it's still bad because of the glyphosate and because of the shit with gluten, wheat, dairy. No good. No gluten, no wheat. So then people get disempowered, like, what do I eat, right? You got to change your taste buds. You got to change it, and you get used to it. Trust me, you'd get used to eating shit if that's what you ate all the time. Like, I drink celery juice every day for 12 years, like big celery. And I hated celery. There was no way you were giving me celery. Now I just down it. And I don't really do it. I don't go, like, yummy. I just down it. I don't. And then, I ate this dessert the other day after this really good salad, and I actually like the salad better. So I was like, Jolie, I love having talks with myself. Like, you like the salad better, and then you can't just like make yourself wrong. You have to say like what you're gonna do the next time it happens, right? So I say when I'm gonna have a choice between the two, know that I like them both, pick the healthier option because I'm happy with both. So why wouldn't I pick the healthier option? You need things in place. Like, so when I go to the grocery store, if I didn't want it before I saw it, I'm not going to buy it. So I have like rules that I make for myself. And then I didn't want it. I remind myself, oh, that ice cream is, oh, Jolie, you didn't want it. Like Pavlov, you have to sit, right? I have a master's in behavior. So I'm clear to Pavlov the hell out of myself. So I go, nope, you didn't want it. You walk away. And even in NLP, you learn to like black things out, but move them away, get them out of your space. Everything we want and love is very up close, and it's all mental. Just move it away. Oh, the chocolate looks so good. No shit, Sherlock. Throw mud on it. Wipe it away. It's like you just go like that. You gotta move it.
So Kelly.
So start by cleaning out your cabinets. Get rid of all your plastic. Get rid of all your labeled foods, and buy whole foods. And start there. And then the second thing would be have a morning routine. And it could look like anything you want as long as it serves you and you do it consistently and always, such as going for a walk, right? With no device, with nothing. Don't even put your cell phone out of the room before you go to bed 3 hours before, at least. Do not go to bed with your cell phone. Out of my room. Then you wake up, don't grab your cell phone. So whatever that morning routine is in that space, ideally, I'm a huge proponent of meditation. So, but breath work, phenomenal. You can work breath work for the rest of your life. It could be 5 minutes, something for you that's consistent, and always journal 3 things you're grateful for. It's funny. I wonder if your listeners and the people who say, I want to listen to my intuition, I wonder if they have gratitude practices. Because the more you're grateful, the more you have things to be grateful for. And for me, the hardest thing for me, which I will speak for others in that arena, is that it was cranial. I'm so cranial, and I kept thinking about it. So when I wanted to do a gratitude practice, I'd be like, all right, I'm done. My pinky, I'm grateful for my friends. I'm grateful. I didn't come up with new stuff because I was using my brain. And I don't want anyone to use their brain. I want them to put their brain away in the morning routine and just feel. Get into their body, somatic, the vagus nerve. People hear like, oh, vagus nerve, right? Activate it. Just slow movements, just feel your body, relax, NSDR, Shavasana. People have stories, I'll fall asleep. No, you won't. Did you try it? You're not gonna fall asleep in the morning. You already woke up. It's time to wake up. You have a backward system because the cortisol is now coming through. Cortisol wakes you up. You have a natural coffee system in your body. You don't need coffee. If people think they need it. How many of your listeners get up in the morning and say, oh, I need my coffee?
Never tasted coffee.
Everybody what?
I said, I've never tasted coffee. So I'm agreeing
Shut up!
with most of the things that you said. Never, or
Never
alcohol. So I know I'm
coffee?
weird. I don't like the smell of it. Yeah, no caffeine
You
for
take
me.
over. You start talking.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's great. Good for you. Do you have no caffeine either?
No caffeine. Nope.
I love
Not
it.
intentionally. I mean, unless it sneaks
Yeah,
into
yeah,
something,
yeah.
but no. Yeah.
Great. Amazing. And do you feel great?
I feel great all of the time. I've never not felt great. Yeah. I've been sick twice in my life. Once when I was 29 and once maybe 2 years ago, just sort of like cold flu. I'm like, I don't like this. I'm never doing it again.
Wow, you're amazing. So I don't have all that. I was always sick. I was always not well. I had to make myself well. I'm jealous. You obviously grew up in a home where health was important.
Actually, my parents owned delis, restaurants, and pizzerias. So I grew up on bologna and cheese on white bread and
Delis,
cheesy
shut up!
snacks. And yeah, that's what I grew. I mean, my
Nice.
mom cooked, but that's what we did a lot of, devil dogs and Cookie Crisp cereal
Oh,
with
you'd
whole
be a
milk
perfect
and
example for my
Pasta
sister.
on
She'd be like, see, they
Sundays
did
with
it.
meatballs, all that good
Uh,
stuff in New Jersey.
yeah, that's right.
My sister
So-
would be like, see, they can do it. Why can't I? See? So that's a perfect scenario for everyone has to do it works with if I could eat bologna and cheese and life would work out, that would be wonderful. But I can't. Like my system doesn't handle it, probably because I had so much medicine and unhealth as a kid growing up till my mid-20s till I took it into my own hands. And I grew up in so much tumultuous childhood that your nervous system isn't even settled. So that has stuff to do with your health. So everyone needs to do what works for them. Go eat your bologna and have no caffeine and never get sick.
No, when I was 17, when I left for college, then I got to make my own choices. So that's when, and it was the 90s. So it was the fat-free era where, everything was full of sugar, but it had less fat. So, that was kind of the college trend. But I just started making my own choices. So I haven't had bologna since I was 17. But
So
I grew
why
up with
did
that.
you choose healthy if you didn't need to?
Well, I had a really strong family history of heart disease, obesity, diabetes, cancer, and they were smokers and
Okay, now.
drinkers. And so I looked at all that and went, and I loved exercise my whole life. So once I left home and I was able to make my own choices about what was in the refrigerator, then I started making healthier choices. Not perfect.
So are you the
but it's
only
evolved.
fit person in your family?
I am. Yeah. I mean, my brother does pretty good, but yeah. Yep.
I had that story until I saw my cousin, and I was like, damn, I always tell people I'm the only fit one, and you're so ripped. So I do have one.
Well, that's good. And you've got tens of thousands that you've inspired, even if they're not blood.
Thank
You've
God you
inspired
get
so
to make
many.
your own choices, right? See, that's the point of this all. So that's it's like you get to make your own choice, and people don't take responsibility for like, right? We get the victim role, like, oh, like even you say, like, oh, it's my genetics. People will say, or no, it's how you lived in your family. If you keep living that way, people think it's their genetics. No, we're all sitting around the table eating deli meat all day, every day for our whole life. So that's what happens. If you change it, you step out, right? Everyone can know epigenetics. It's is it confirmed for sure? Yes, the environment signals the gene, not the gene signals the environment. Period. I fight with my sister all the time because it's weird. One has cancer and the other one's an oncologist. So it's like, and then there's me in the middle. They think I'm a quack. Like they think I meditate my problems away. Thank God I'm over 50, and now I was able to prove it. So it was like, hooray! Because they're always like, oh, she'll just go meditate. Well, yeah, try it.
Mark, you had a
Okay.
question. I cut you off.
Well, no, I just had a statement that you're in Dallas, Texas, and we need a cowboy here to rein in this wild horse here a little bit here.
Yeah.
So you
Go
are
for it.
Ellie,
amazing,
you're a
Jolie.
badass. When's your birthday?
December
Me?
7th.
Oh, Kelly.
Ellie's
Oh.
a badass.
Mark, when's your
Kelly
birthday?
is a badass, and she is one of the healthiest people I know, and I am so grateful for how we met. She brought God into my life along with some other people at the right time. I tell the story to everybody that I'm the dude that ran out of bad shit to do, and then I found God. So, and now you're here, and I'm grateful for that. So,
That's
you,
so nice you brought God into your life.
yeah, clean the fridge, morning routine. What's your morning routine, Jolie? Let's talk about that.
The
What'd you do
second I
this
wake up,
morning?
I meditate. I grab
Okay.
an eye mask. It's a game changer. Thank God, another thing I got from Joe Dispenza. I have them all over my house. And I meditate for 40 to 70 minutes about. Then I do at least 40 minutes. And then I do a 5 to 7 minute breath work, which they can get. It's on this app called Breathe. It's free and it does like woo, woo. And you set the different breaths that you want to do. So you could do alternate 4-4, you could do 4-8, whatever you want to do, right? I always tell people just breathe as much as you can get in, as much as you can get out, and work on varying it. So then I do that. Then I get up, I lay on my floor and stretch a little with my Pilates ring. And then I start dancing around my house. Then I have like all the energy. I turn on my sodas, I turn on my music, and I juice. So I start juicing, and then I start blending, and I juice and I blend, and I prep, which I already prepped. All I do is prep, but the recent prep for the juice for the day. But I also prep for the week of cutting, putting in glass. Like I tell people, don't store it in plastic. Every bit matters. And then I go work out, make calls, do emails, do life my way, do my appointments. And then my night routine of my turn down, that's what I've been working on, getting better at. So I'm way more kick-ass with my morning routine, my night routine, because I'm so amped, right? So it's like, how do you calm yourself down when you love it so much? Like I could just keep going and keep going. So I've learned to just lay on the floor, to make the lights dark, do an NSDR, just relax, the no sleep rest, deep rest, where you just want to breathe and relax and just Shavasana. People can relate to that dead man's pose. So how long can you sustain that without falling asleep? So I do that, and then I don't stretch as much as I should at night. I'm working on prolonging it longer, and then I just get in bed, go to bed.
I love that.
Yeah.
I added the hip mobility before bed too, either morning or afternoon, just a little hip mobility routine. I find that helps.
I love it.
Either morning or afternoon.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love all of that. I love the NSDR, the no sleep deep rest.
Yeah, Huberman loves all that. So, it's like, do whatever. People go, how do I meditate? What do I do? And they get so stuck in the how, they're not just doing. And I have meditations all the time where I'm like, why am I doing it? What am I sitting here for? That's the point, right? That's the point of it all, because I'm working on distancing myself from the voice. So now I'm like more like I see it, and it's very hard to piss me off. Like I just see it, and I'm super energetic, but I say things organized. Like I thought about it. You won't piss me off, and I just get upset at you. I'm going to think about it, and then I'm going to speak because I see it in front of me, and I owe it all to meditation. Because before, I was the person that was like, oh, Jolie will speak up. Jolie says it all. Jolie speaks her mind. And then when it mattered most to me, I didn't know how to verbalize it until you push my button, and then I get pissed off. Now it's all on my terms. Now it's all when I say go. And the tempo, I control the tempo. We live in a world where people think they're not supposed to have problems, right? The only people without problems are in a graveyard. So now I'm just like, oh, there it is again, right? It's like, it doesn't matter. Now you just navigate through them better. So I don't tell people I'm going to take away your problems when I coach you. I'm just going to have you navigate them better. It's not going to be difficult when you get them.
It's so beautiful when you can get to a place where you're just unoffendable. I say that all the time when people preface like, I hope this doesn't upset you. I'm like, I am unoffendable. Like, I love feedback and I want to hear things, but I refuse to be offended. Like, I'm not giving up my peace. It's just too expensive, but I'll hear what you have to say, and then think about it, process it, and then decide. Like, we get to decide what we're going to do with that. And
Do you meditate a lot? Because that's an amazing, it sounds beautiful, and it's amazing you can be that.
It took a while to arrive here. It's taken time. But
so what did you do to arrive there?
A lot of forgiveness. When you can see things also sort of in the spirit realm, and you can see it that way, and you're like, I know what that is. Especially since so many people are hurt, they're coming from such an offended place, and a lot of times it has nothing to do with me. So I can just choose not to receive whatever it is that they're offended by, because it's not mine. I just happen to be the target at the moment, but it could have had nothing to do with me. So when you can put things into perspective, it's something that they were offended by, it's some hurt that they have, and I just in the way at the moment. I'm in the way. And usually people will direct it at the strong people because they know that no matter what, that person is still going to love them back. So you could, try and offend me. I'm still going to love you.
Unoffendable.
I'm unoffendable. I may put a boundary up, but I'm not going to, attack or retaliate or judge you. I'm just going to not be offended. And like you, I think and process, and then I decide what I'm going to do with it.
That's amazing. Do you meditate?
I do, yeah. And I will push people to the outside of the circle. Like, there's so many people on my intimate circle, but then I may move people out if they're unhealthy for me, or they, continue
100%. We teach people how to treat us, period.
Yeah.
So you get what you tolerate. And that's the second rule in my book is everywhere you go, there you are, right? So it's exactly, there's nobody over there. When I used to lead for Landmark, and in Landmark Education, they always say, nobody's over there. Nobody's over there. Or how's that working for you? Or have a good day or not. Like, it's all up to you, right? That's the point of my book. You are the hero of your own story. So how did that work? Joe Dispenza, at the end of his day, he always says, where did you fall short? He asks himself all the time, right? If you say to Joe Dispenza, like, what more do you need to learn? He would say, how to surrender. He says, every day I learn to surrender a little bit more because you're not dead yet, and you can always surrender a little bit more. And then what would that look like? A lot of people can confuse and collapse surrender with giving up and giving in and quitting, and it's giving over and still grinding.
Love that. So the first tip we had was cleaning things out. The second tip was the morning and the evening routine. What would you say would be the next one?
To listen to sit in silence, even 5 minutes a day in the middle of the day, not included in their meditation, and connect to their heart, because no one's going to be able to refine their intuition if they're not connecting to their heart, to that beautiful soul that's inside of them. So I went on this, some Kabbalah course yesterday. I just sat with her, but I love her message. It was so beautiful. And she said, if you had a treasure in your house, if you knew there was a treasure in your house and you'd want to find it, there was gold and there was jewelry, and you'd search everywhere, you'd turn your house upside down, and you'd go crazy just to find that treasure. And she says, when you believe in God and you know that God is inside of you, treat that as the treasure you're looking for in your house, and not turn yourself upside down, yet dig so deep and never give up till you get so close to that magic that's inside. You want to become very familiar with it. So that's how you get intuition, is you get familiar with your heart and that God unlimited intelligence that's in you. It's not out there, it's inside of you. It's in you and all around you. So it's all over. So that would be a third. And then what is this? To spark their intuition, to dream more, to notice their dreams, like keep a journal, sleep more and dream more.
Love it. We're taking notes.
Yeah. And then, start noticing where they are intuitive. And then where are you into it? Like what has them, or what area? Like if someone says to me, oh, I want to work my intuition, or I'm not intuitive, I'd first say, how do you not know that? Like, tell me the last time, did you ever go somewhere and you knew that it wasn't the right place to go into, or you thought like that wasn't the person you wanted to be friends with, or maybe that dark alley wasn't the alley you wanted to go down, right? Right. How did you know that? Right. So I start to get people comfortable with knowing what's in their body. So start being aware of where you are intuitive and what's going on in those areas and how that is happening and what you're not doing in the other areas that you are doing it and how to apply it to those other areas. Right. Because they're already having it in certain areas.
And it makes sense.
I love people walk around with that human design. I'm a manifestor generator. I'm a manifestor. I don't know. Do you hear that a lot? Do you hear the human design thing that people talk about all? No,
maybe less in Texas.
Oh, okay, good.
The Bible Belt
good,
here,
because
yeah.
I'm like, I don't really give a shit. You're all manifestors. Like everybody's a manifester. And then I love Abraham Hicks because she always says, tune in, tap in, and turn on. And it's exactly right. You got to tune in, tap in, and turn on. Like, what radio station are you on that you're not intuitive? Like, what are you listening to? What is going into your head? What is, right? Whatever's going in is going to come out. So, but I told you originally that I use that pendulum too. So I love the pendulum, and it helps me work on the intuition because you do show me the yes, show me the no. It's based on your body language, and your body knows. So if I say, should I stay in my gym? Or I ask it like a complex question that I'm like, don't know the answer to. Then I look, show me the yes, show me the no, and then I see if that's really resonating inside of me. If I'm like, yeah, I know it, right? And I start to work my own tuition to feel that spark. Just like I always say, I don't even care about the Bible. I know right from wrong. Everybody does. It feels, you have that initial, I was working on teaching my group that feeling that they get when it goes, ChatGPT goes, yes, you need to go here. That second feeling that you go, yeah, or no, or like yesterday when I lifted the kettlebell, I knew it was my core and I knew I didn't belong lifting that. I knew it. It's like, we know it. So start being aware of where you know it and then you didn't listen and how to slow down enough to listen. Because a lot of people who aren't intuitive are not slowing down enough to notice that they could be if they'd slow down enough.
Yeah, and I think what you said first with cleaning out, the people who aren't intuitive, they're usually blocked because they haven't cleaned out. They're eating too much sugar, they're listening to too much technology, too much whatever that, especially this time of year, we're recording with horror movies from Halloween or whatever they're bringing in, it could be blocking them from hearing the things that help them to have the proper intuition.
Right, and then that's what we talked about for the whole hour. That's what we sat and talked about, is how to be healthy. And then not to disempower them, but just know that everything, like you say to a kid, did you say that to be helpful or hurtful? Right? So you want to say, is this helping me or hurting me? And it's every move you make. And then it's not to make yourself wrong. It's to slow down enough and care enough about yourself to say, it's not helpful. So I will go for that because that's helpful. Like actually thinking what helped me to get more fruits and vegetables in was I remembered and then lessen my cookies because I used to love cookies, is I would say, did I get my fruits and vegetables in? And by the time I got the servings of fruits and vegetables in that I wanted to, there was no room for the cookies. But there's always room for cookies if you didn't get your nutrients in. So, and intuition is all connected to how clear and healthy you are. So it's all going to begin with how healthy can you get to clear yourself inside to be clear throughout. Like your brain. How could you have a clear brain if you're eating shit? And not consuming fat. You need fat. Good fat.
Healthy fat. So we have cleaning out, we have a morning routine, we have sitting in silence, dreaming more, sleeping more. If you had a final
eating good,
tip, what would it
they
be?
need to eat the good. We got to get rid of the shit, but if they want a healthy, good brain, they need to eat fat, good, healthy fat. And like the protein goes with the fat, but it doesn't go with the carbs and the sugar. So a lot of people blame the diet. They'll go, oh, the carnivore didn't work. Yeah, well, you were eating carbs and sugar with it. Like you mixed it. You can't. It's like an explosive. You can't have those things together. So if people really want to clean their intuition, get rid of the carbs, get rid of the sugar, put the good in. Eat good, healthy fats. Avocados every day. Eat them. Oil, coconut oil, butter fat, good stuff.
That is good. So much good content in there. So we definitely don't want to wrap this up without hearing about, what drew you to boxing. And you've got, one of the most famous boxing gyms, so famous, especially in Miami. We want to promote what you're doing there. Can you tell us about what drew you to boxing?
Okay, so I was a school teacher in jail and prisons and lockdowns, and I was the little white girl in the all black school. I had reverse discrimination. I was in the complete Liberty City down here, so the ghetto, and I didn't care. I love the kids. So to me, the kids were my mission. And people would always say, how does this white girl get the kids in order? And I'd say, I let them fight one-on-one, no one jump in. But it was out of desperation. I didn't know what I was doing, but the kids were crazy, and they gang up and they all jump in and they rip their hair out and they kick and they stomp, and like people used to be like Dangerous Minds. I'm like worse, like crazy. I think you had seen I was supposed to do a show, Biggest Loser, and picked the executive producer, and it was me going into the ghettos and bonding parents and teens through boxing and fitness. Because I saw the instantaneous results of, I didn't know it was boxing. I just thought I was like solving fights in the school. I was like, no one jump in. You know what? I'm going to let you fight, but I'm going to move the chairs and it's going to be one-on-one. And it was me. And then I was like, holy shit, nobody's fighting. I was like, this is serious. And that's, God doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called. So I'm so grateful that I know I've been called. Anyone that serves is being called to serve. So it's not like I'm the almighty. Everyone serve and you're going to be called. And it calls you continuously. So I know I've always been getting qualified to serve in the way of disruption. I love fighting from a place of love, disrupting education, disrupting the medical system. So I was teaching boxing without knowing what it was. Then I met my ex-husband in a club. He was a door guy in South Beach from England, because I said, I'm never going to marry an American. And he said, I'm going to do an English pub, a bowling alley, or a boxing gym. And I just heard gym. I used to teach at Olympia in Aventura, where Beto from Zumba, he was a Spanish dance instructor. So and I was a spin instructor. So I was like, fitness, I'm in fitness, perfect. And lo and behold, it was this boxing thing that I didn't know. I thought boxing were just people fighting. I was like, how much longer do we have to watch this? Like, I didn't know the value of what I was doing was that. So there went my whole beautiful life of really getting that secret sauce that I sprinkled and like miraculously solved these crazy fights in the ghetto that nobody was solving because I let them fight one-on-one. And then I got really like cowards or bullies and, people who are strong don't fight. And when you really learn to fight, you don't fight. So there went I quit teaching. We opened 4 gyms. Then we ended up getting divorced in 2008, which was the economic crash. So I also went through that, which I love teaching women who come out of divorce and have to start all over again. So that was through that economic crisis mess. But the beauty of it was when I got my South Beach gym back, because I went and led for Landmark during the time I was divorced. I got my South Beach back. I got very into the children because that was my thing. So I was able to meld everything I was doing before with everything I was currently doing now. And then I got really big into doing, so I'm totally known as the kid, the teen. You got a kid, you got a teen, you send them my way. I love disrupting in a sense. I get with a lot of the teachers and the administrators, please send me the kid. If they get sent to the social worker, send it to me before they get there, because I will save them from the meds. But once they get there, I can't interfere, and then that's it, and then that's their thinking. And it's like, I'm not here to convince anyone. I'm just here to guide you, ideally in the best healthy way possible. The meds will, I speak from experience, so I just want to say the meds will F you up big time. Like these kids that are going on these antidepressants and anti-anxiety, and I was literally wanting to kill myself when I wanted to get off. It was the worst thing ever. And then down to the point of, I was 21 when I met my husband. He was like, you're on antidepressants? I was like, that's what the gynecologist gave it to me. That's because I had bad periods. So which is the grateful I go through menopause great, because I had the worst periods. So they go, oh, take birth control. I did that. And then they go, oh, well, you're moody during the birth control probably made me moody and hormonal. And then they gave me the Paxil. And then I had to go down, because I had to take it into my own hands. It's a quarter of a pill that big. It was the size of like a birth control pill, but cut it into like a crumb every other day to not want to kill myself, to get off. And then I got in contact with that Kevin Trudeau's book, thank God. So, and then I have my gym. So you said, I told you I got started. I have my gym almost 30 years. Crazy, right? Then in COVID, I wrote 2 books. Mike Tyson wrote the back of my book. Actually, I'm going to his thing. They just sent me VIP tickets for backstage. And ideally, I'd like to do some work with him. I love Mike Tyson. I've met them all. Muhammad Ali did birthdays in my gym. I've met every hero in boxing. And then Will Smith did the Ali movie in my gym. So we had so much. Sugar Ray Leonard, George Foreman, everyone frequented, been in my gym, trained in my gym. And I've seen heroes, and I've seen the fall of heroes. Like also Chris Bosh trained in my gym, right? So I talk to people that because of my accident, I'm always like, hey, what's it like to not do your sport anymore? And hear how they cope with the down coming off their sport, right? Because we're so extreme. And then I wrote these 2 books. So Mike Tyson wrote the back. He said, no one better to have in your corner than me. And it's a 1-a-day read for people that are everyone's ADD. Nobody wants to sit and read a long book unless you're reading a novel. And it's a famous boxer quote and then my breakdown. So it's always like the perfect one you need for the day. And then I did 1,000+ questions to ask yourself to become the champion of your own life. So it's a workbook for the rest of your life. So every rule, like here's some of the rules. It's 101 rules to being a champion. So it's ingredients to being a champion. Some are, you will become humble, be precise, experience mostly wins, always chase the perfect punch. Wherever you go, there you are. Believe in yourself. Confidence is key. Willingness to sacrifice. So all these rules that apply to being a champion boxer in a ring. And then so many people, people say, like, how do I have intuition? How do I, right? So they're asking questions, right? So answers come from questions. That's the Bible got started. How to know God, how this, how that. And people say, oh, why am I so fat? Because you're freaking fat. That's not the right question to ask yourself. That's a tail spinning question. You would say, like, what can I do differently? So the people are going, how do I be intuitive? It's like, have I ever been intuitive? Where was the last time I was intuitive? Where am I wanting to be intuitive? What's in the way of blocking me? You gotta ask better questions to get better answers. Otherwise, you're stuck. That's correct. And do you stay stuck or get a coach, get an accountability partner? But I asked the 1,000+ questions to ask yourself to become the champion of your own life. So for every 101 rules is a set of like 15 questions you ask yourself to be able to obtain that question in your life. So when I wrote it to, how I say, disrupt education and disrupt medication. There is not one personal development self-improvement. I don't know if it's different in Texas, but none require reading in school. There's none. So to go back full circle to how we started the podcast is health and total wellness, and it can't be in a gym, and it's not just in a school, and they don't teach in, doctors don't even learn it. They learn 7 hours of nutrition. They need acupuncture, herbology, oils, breath work. It's like a whole arena, meditation, everything of how to use the sun and circadian rhythm and live with the earth and the sun and grounding and all of the stuff that you would need to learn. And I love how people go, oh, well, they wouldn't make money. Well, if you look at any functional doctor, they make a shit ton of money. So there's plenty of money to make. People could sell sunshine and they'll make money. It's just, do the right thing and it'll come around. So yeah, now I'm into the books and getting my books into schools, and I don't know. I'm looking for acreage, so 20 to 30 acreage. I do want to do like my gym, communal living type thing, healthy communal living where people come in and they have that. But while I'm looking so this is the intentionality and surrender, right? Because God's in charge. So I'm putting my feelers out for different things that I would end up doing next, because I won't stay in a gym for the rest of my life. 30 years is pretty long. I constantly say how grateful I am, and I can't wait for my next assignment, and I sit in my meditations that I know I'm going to serve in such a greater way for the service of the legacy I leave, like whatever I leave behind, and how I can best serve to match what my abilities are to serve. So I don't know what it'll look like, whether it's like running a boxing thing or doing a 20, 30 acres or working with Mike Tyson. Like now what he's trying to do, his wife just told me they're doing amateur boxing. They're trying to get more youth. See, my thing isn't not necessarily, and I'm a principle freak, so I won't just like team up with people unless it completely aligns with me. I won't bend for little things because, right, when you have a mission, it needs to be that and nothing that's not that. So my mission is not to turn kids into boxers. I don't want anyone to be a boxer. I don't even think the boxers should be boxers. It's a terrible sport for professionals. Yet I wish every child had to take a martial art, because if I had martial arts in my life when I was 10, I would have been a whole different child, a whole different child. And then, right, I already said I don't want to wish my life was different because it's perfect and now I get to teach it. Yet for all people raising children, they need to put their kid in a martial art. Let them choose which martial art they want, but it's the best discipline you can get for learning you and everywhere you go, and discipline and humility and competition, period. Like even if they want to do a sport, like the concept of just doing competition and dealing with yourself at the end of the day. And the reason the Z generation got messed up was for the parenting going, you have a participation award for 8th place. It's like, no, you don't get participation awards. You have to like work your ass off. It's like, and they all want, I met a girl in the elevator the other day. I said, oh, you lost so much weight. And I could tell it was Ozempic. You could tell because they're not keeping their muscle tone. So I said, well, that's okay. Just go off now and then get in the gym. And she's like, ugh. I said, oh, she said to me that she was throwing up profuse. I go, oh, you were throwing up? She goes, yeah. I go, well, why wouldn't you work out and do it the healthy way? She goes, ugh, because I'd rather throw up. It was quicker. I was like, okay. So people want the short-term gift, and they're sacrificing the long-term gift. They're giving it all up for that short term. She just threw up for 6 months and now she looks like a noodle. I was like, you looked like a noodle. She had no muscle tone. It's hard work. You gotta work. People don't get it. So how do you start? You got it every day. Is it hurting me? Is it helping me? Is it hurting me? Is it helping me? What's my goal for today? Did I meet my goal today? Where did I fall short? Okay, when I wake up tomorrow, this is how I'm gonna start the day tomorrow. Constantly reassessing and assessing and putting in what works and taking out what doesn't work. Constantly.
One thing that you did say there that I thought was interesting I want to touch on is this. For your next journey, you asking the right questions, and then you're waiting for your intuition to give you signs. You're not rushing into anything. You said, hey, I want to have 20 acres. I want to move on. I want the next part of my legacy to take place. And you're like, show me the signs, show me where the direction is going to be. And I think a lot, I didn't want to skirt over that because so many people don't understand what it means to ask the right questions. You know, why am I fat? Here's why. Your brain's going to say you're fat because your mom was this, your dad was that, you got bad genetics, or you're lazy, you work 20 hours a day here, et cetera, et cetera. Asking the right questions. Major point that you touched on, and you're actually just showed an example of yourself doing it for yourself. And then you're patient, which I think a lot of people don't have. We are in the immediate gratification society, not the long-term fulfillment society. It's definitely become that, at least for the younger generation. Okay. Now, will they learn as they get older like us and be a little more patient? I hope so.
You meditate. Meditate is what taught me. I'm not patient. I read my patient chapter a lot, and I realize in order to have patience, because I write as my own words of wisdom, I need patience with myself, right? I will never have patience with another if I don't have patience with myself. So that, and then when you're an overachiever, right, and you want more and it's never good enough, and then right, and then you got to be kind to yourself. So then what does that look like? Be kind to yourself and chase the perfect punch. And then that's that. Of course, be kind to yourself. Can't you push your best friend and still be kind to your best friend and say, like, you got it, you can do it. Of course you can do it. You've done it before. And push your best friend like that. Just push yourself that way and be your own best friend. And I'm not so amazing at it. Yet I catch myself when comparison steals my joy, or I'm in plot, I remind myself, Jolie, you're on your own, right? Be your best coach. Have a command voice that serves you and snaps you out of delirium bullshit, because we're making it all up anyway. So you might as well empower yourself, not disempower yourself. So, and how you said, like, you said, ask a question and it's in the questions. And then someone might say, like, well, how do you know if I asked the right question? Well, then you get a good answer. And you don't stop asking better questions, and you have to keep rephrasing your question until you get the answer you want. So you keep asking. So, but I just ask, like, how can I best serve? Because I'm willing to take whatever I get. And then you would say, like, oh, are you willing to, like, sweep the floor of, like, Africa because that's serving? Yeah, if that's my next mission and that's what God wants me to have. I don't believe, like, I came from waitressing, like, when I was a kid, and I love waitressing. I use it, like, as a star on my, it taught me how to serve really well because I was a really good waitress. And bad waitresses bother me. Bad service bothers me. Because if you're going to say, they always go, oh, service. Well, it's bad service. Like, I live to serve. Like, if you are in my presence and I am serving you, it's going to be the best service. I'm going to make sure I, like, give it to you before you need it. You have it before you ask for it. And that's what service is about. And you learn it in waitressing if you're a good one. So you don't get in the weeds and you don't do all that. And you don't want to stop until you get the answer that serves you best. You just keep, let me get another question. Oh, let me get another answer. That wasn't the right question. You have to keep rephrasing it. Who, what, where, when, why, how. But right, a coach, the best coach asks the best questions. So I'm not saying it's so easy. It's just everything requires work. So get better at asking better questions. People have to work it. I've been working the art of asking questions my whole life. That's what coaching's all about. So, and then when I come up with a good one that really shifts someone, you're like, yeah, that was a good one, right? Because you get them to shift. You're like, yeah. Otherwise, if they're not shifting, I didn't ask a good question. I got to stump them. You got to make someone think, snap out of it. It's funny, Richard Bandler. So I have my NLP Master Prac from Richard Bandler, who created it. And he would say, he's amazing. He's the best one I've ever learned from in person. Better than Tony Wright. He's just phenomenal. He created the whole NLP with John Grinder. And he says, people go, oh, you're going to put me in a trance? Because it's all hypnotic. He goes, no, I'm going to take you out. And I love telling people that because they're in a trance and everything they're believing is not true now. And we get so stuck to our beliefs, even if they work, right? Even if they work. But how about we just release them a little and relax a little and consider that, like, none of it's true. And then you pick, like, a smorgasbord, what will best serve you. And then that'll be true because it's serving you. So make it true.
Love it. Wow. Whew. That's a lot of great content. Jolie, just thank you for bringing your fire, your truth, your heart to this conversation today. And we love your message and that it's not about doing more for everyone out there that's listening. It's about doing what matters, doing what's right for you. Bring your own energy and your clarity and self-respect to your questions. And just thanks for that reminder. And I'm sure people will have a mindset shift. And if you're out there feeling tired and distracted and, you know, autopilot, stuck, whatever it is, this should be your wake-up call. I love how direct Jolie is, and absolutely grab a copy of her book, Life According to the Rules of Boxing, and she puts all the questions in there for you. You don't even have to come up with the good questions. She's got 1,000 questions to ask yourself to become your own champion. So I hope to all of our listeners that you are called up to become your own champion. Jolie, what's the best place for people to find out about your boxing gym and your books and all the things?
My name is all my social media. Jolie Glassman is my YouTube, my Instagram, I do group coaching, my website, everything is Jolie Glassman. I do teens are my favorite. So minus the part where I have to deal with the parents so much more, but I still love it. It's like I have teen coaching and then I'm like, oh my God, I'm in the marriage with the parents. How did that happen? It's just the teen coaching. But it is my passion. I love the teens.
Well, the teens need you.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Jolie, you definitely walk the walk, talk the talk, no doubt. I mean, I always say this with some of our other podcasts, and I definitely want to drive this home here since we talked a lot about intuition today. I always say that if you are here today, your intuition got you here for a reason. There's something underlying in your life that you are trying to fix, improve upon. Go follow Jolie. Go grab her book. Man, that's an awesome book. Go do the work, and you'll get the benefit. And you are here 100% on purpose. Nothing ever happens by chance, in my opinion. So we appreciate you being on the show today. And Kelly, this is one of those that, I don't know if anybody watching or listening got something out of this, but you and I certainly, we started this show just for us, not for everybody else, for our own selfish reasons.
All about us.
So we can level up in life. I honestly believe that. But
Well, I love it
appreciate
because
you
that
here.
was the last note. I was going to say, just go love yourself. And then you're saying, I did it for us. And exactly, that's what needs to happen for everybody. If everybody would just go love on themselves a lot more, right? You got to heal yourself to heal anybody else. So start with them in the mirror.
That's great. We're
Amen
all
to that.
stronger than we think. Yeah, we're wiser than we know, and we're more fully capable. And we're still here, so it's not over. It's still a chance to be better for all of us.
Yeah, all change starts with a little bit more self-love. Totally in line with that. Appreciate you coming on
Thank
the
you
show,
so much.
sharing
That was
your
fun.
wisdom. And hopefully you all got something out of this today. You can apply to your life, live a healthier lifestyle. In the meantime, thanks for tuning in. We will see you all in the next episode. Bye-bye now.